Okay, let's jump right in. We're talking about that feeling, that constant pressure to fit in.
Yeah, the kind that makes you want to hide parts of yourself, maybe your heritage, just so you're, well, acceptable to others.
It's that criticism from the outside, sometimes even from, inside your own community that tells you how you should be.
Exactly. And for Black youth, for many of us, it digs deep. It can lead to this internalized self-doubt.
Yeah.
Makes it hard to see your own value reflected anywhere.
Zora Neale Hurston knew this pressure intimately. She faced it head on, especially from her peers, about how Black life should be shown or, how women were supposed to act.
Right. They had these really rigid ideas, particularly during the Harlem Renaissance. It was a specific kind of representation they wanted.
And her work, it didn't always fit that mold. They criticized her for being too authentic in a way, too rural, maybe.
Which is just wild when you think about it. Being
Huh.
criticized for showing the richness of the actual culture. It's this identity erasure thing we're talking about.
It diminishes your history, your roots.
And that's the struggle, isn't it? Trying to hold on to yourself when everything's pushing you to conform. Zora's story is about fighting that.
So let's just pause on that for a second. A question for you listening. When have you felt that pressure, that need to hide or change a part of who you are just to fit in?
Hold that thought. Because Zora's response is, well, it's kind of the core of what we're exploring today.
So let's properly introduce her. Zora Neale Hurston, author, anthropologist, folklorist, just a trailblazer.
Absolutely. And
Right.
she fits right into this lineage of resistance we talk about, not through like overt political fighting necessarily, but through self-knowledge.
Her life showed that knowing and honoring yourself, your real self, is maybe one of the most courageous, even revolutionary things you can do.
And her upbringing is key here. She was born in Nothasuga, Alabama, 1891. But the crucial part, growing up in Eatonville, Florida.
Right. Eatonville. You have to understand Eatonville.
Yes, the first all-Black incorporated town in the U.S. Imagine growing up where Black culture, Black governance, Black life was the norm.
It wasn't the exception. It wasn't something viewed from the outside.
Exactly. That experience gave her this incredible sense of self-worth, of identity, right from the start. She wasn't learning about her culture. She was just living it.
Which meant when she got to places like Harlem, where everyone was debating the new Negro image and feeling that pressure.
She already had her compass. She knew who she was. She didn't need that external validation in the same way. It's a powerful foundation.
Okay, so that brings us to what you might call her flashpoint. A defining moment, a choice she made.
Yeah, a choice that really put her at odds with a lot of the Harlem Renaissance establishment, but ultimately cemented her legacy.
The expectation at the time, right, was to focus on sophisticated urban Black life, to kind of counteract racist stereotypes by presenting this polished image.
Mm. And many prominent writers, figures like Richard Wright later on, felt Black art had to be political. It needed to be essentially propaganda against oppression.
And they looked at Zora's work, her focus on rural Southern dialect, the folklore, the everyday leaves.
And they saw it as, well, maybe reinforcing stereotypes. Some even accused it of sounding like minstrelsy. It was harsh criticism.
But Zora, she just refused. She chose her path. Cultural authenticity over conformity.
Even when it cost her, financially, professionally. She saw the beauty, the complexity, the value in those stories and that language that others wanted to sort of sweep under the rug.
She didn't just write about it, though. This is where her anthropological side really kicks in.
Right. She didn't just imagine it. She went out and lived it again. Traveled all through the American South, Haiti, Jamaica.
Collecting stories, songs, spiritual practices, the way people actually talked. She was documenting her heritage.
It was rigorous work, deep immersion. And that led to books like Mules and Men in 1935 and Tell My Horse in 38.
She was basically saying, look, this is real, it's important, it's beautiful, and I'm going to preserve it no matter what the critics say. Black or white critics, by the way.
That disciplined study, that dedication to the truth as she saw it and lived it, that was her rebellion, turning criticism into fuel.
So when you think about her making that choice, roots over acceptance, it throws a question back at us, doesn't it?
Definitely. What part of your own truth, your heritage, are you maybe shielding right now? Protecting it because it doesn't feel popular or because someone's questioning it?
It's a powerful thing to consider.
And we can really understand her journey, her transformation, using that Garvey model, head, heart, and hands. It maps so well onto her life.
Let's break that down. Start with the head, the mindset.
Okay. Zora's mindset was all about resilience, taking criticism, obstacles, even mistakes, and turning them into fuel for growth, for self-affirmation.
Her anthropological work itself was a mental discipline, right? It wasn't just collecting stories, it was an act of knowing her people, which meant knowing herself on a deeper level.
Precisely. Her mind became this, fortress. When people dismissed her work, she could point to her research, the lived experiences she documented. Her data backed up her vision.
And that mental strength, that clarity, it fed directly into her heart, didn't it? Her purpose.
Absolutely. That unwavering drive for authenticity, for celebrating her culture without apology. It aligns perfectly with Marcus Garvey's core ideas.
It's interesting that Garvey himself saw that in her early on. He published her work in his newspaper, The Negro World.
Yeah, it shows that shared understanding, that belief in cultural pride as the bedrock of, well, everything else. Personal power, collective power.
Which leads us right to that Garvey quote that feels tailor-made for Zora. The man who knows himself fears no one.
That's it, isn't it? Because Zora knew her story, she documented it, she trusted her lived experience. The critics just couldn't touch her core. Their opinions lost their sting.
That self-knowledge was her shield and her strength. It let her focus.
Which brings us to the hands, the action, the discipline, what she actually did despite all the challenges.
And the prime example has to be Their Eyes Were Watching God, 1937. What a book.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
And think about how she wrote it and what it was about. It's all about Janie Crawford finding her voice, her identity.
And Zora insisted on using that authentic Southern Black vernacular, focusing on the internal life, the emotional journey of a Black woman. It completely defied the political expectations of the time.
And get this, she wrote it in just 7 weeks while she was in Haiti doing anthropological fieldwork.
7 weeks? That's wow.
That's not just talent. That's intense discipline. That's focus. That's knowing your purpose and just executing, despite everything. She faced obscurity later, financial struggles. But she kept going. She trusted her path.
So let's bring it back to the listener again. How does knowing your own story, like really knowing it, give you that courage, that strength to resist the pressure to assimilate or conform?
It's the foundation Zora modeled. When you know who you are, deeply you're standing on solid ground. You can weather the storms.
And that deep knowing is the key to the challenge we have for you this week.
Yeah, inspired directly by Zora's commitment to self-knowledge.
We're calling it a self-knowledge audit. Simple but powerful.
Take some time, maybe journal, use your phone notes, go for a walk, whatever works for you, and really pinpoint your core values.
What are the things about your identity, your background, your roots that are absolutely non-negotiable for you? The things you won't compromise no matter what?
Get specific. Is it how you talk? Your connection to community? A creative vision? What parts of you need protecting and honoring?
Define those non-negotiables. Know them.
And once you have that clarity, we want you to carry this affirmation. I know who I am, and I trust my path.
Say it to yourself.
Yeah.
When you feel doubt creep in, when you feel that external pressure.
And remind yourself, I know who I am, and I trust my path. Trusting that connects you right back to Zora, to that lineage of resistance through self-awareness.
And we'd love to hear about it. Share your stories, your reflections on this audit, or just how Zora inspires you. Use her example to step more fully into your own power.
Because Zora's whole life teaches us this lesson. Knowing yourself, having that discipline, taking pride in your heritage, these aren't just nice ideas.
No, they're tools. Powerful tools for transformation.
They're what move you from that place of self-doubt to real self-confidence, to being unstoppable.
And that's the work we're doing here, digging into these lessons from the Garvey classroom.
Yeah, reminding ourselves that we shape our own reality. But it starts with knowing the material you're working with, which is you, your authentic self.
So keep that energy. Next week, we continue the journey. We're diving into the life and work of another giant, Carter G. Woodson.
The focus there will be reclaiming our history. Absolutely crucial work.
It's going to be another powerful deep dive.
Definitely. So until then, keep knowing yourself, keep trusting your path, and tune in next time for more stories of transformation.